Another WWE Superstar lands major acting role, the best and worst of WWE SmackDown. WWE is using Evolution 2 to flood the market and create chaos for AEW. WWE Women fear the blame game if Evolution 2 fails. A huge update on Nikki Bella's status after her feud with Liv Morgan got cancelled. There's still a power struggle between Triple H and The Rock. WWE politics exposed. WWE's intentions behind CM Punk's apology in Saudi Arabia revealed. Let's dive right in. The best and worst of WWE SmackDown. WWE Friday Night SmackDown hit the USA Network with a unique vibe tonight. As a taped show returning to its 2-hour format, it felt a bit different from the past 6 months, with pacing that didn't quite click. Still, the night delivered some unforgettable highs and a few lows. From a stellar match to big tag team moments and one head-scratching booking choice, SmackDown had it all. Here's a breakdown of the best and worst moments that had everyone talking. Number 1. The best. Rey Fenix and Andrade join forces for tag team glory. Last week, Andrade and Rey Fenix stunned everyone by taking down DIY, showing off incredible chemistry. Tonight on SmackDown, they made it official. They're a tag team and gunning for the WWE Tag Team titles. The duo faced Fraxiom in a match that set the crowd on fire, even though it was taped after Monday's Raw. Fenix and Andrade's win has them inching closer to a shot at the championships. Could they be the next champs? It's too early to say, but their addition makes WWE's already stacked tag team division even hotter. Number 2. The worst. Trish Stratus's comeback falls flat. Trish Stratus made her big return on SmackDown, and while fans hoped she'd show up for Evolution, her storyline felt off. During a segment with Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill, Tiffany announced she picked her Evolution opponent. Her idol, WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus. The match sounds like a blast, but the setup? Total letdown. In an era of smart booking under Triple H, letting Tiffany just choose her opponent feels lazy and uninspired. Evolution deserved a stronger story to hype this clash, even if the match itself will likely deliver. Number 3. The best. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair team. Up. Alexa Bliss has been chasing an alliance with Charlotte Flair for weeks, only to get shut down by the Queen every time. That changed on SmackDown when Alexa persuaded Nick Aldis to put them in a triple threat tag team match against B-Fab, Michin, and the Slagans from the Green Regime. The winners earn a spot in the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way at Evolution. Despite their rocky history, Alexa and Charlotte pulled off a victory, showing serious chemistry. They could be the next champs, and if they keep teaming up, big things are on the horizon for both stars. Number 4. The best. Drew McIntyre storms back. Drew McIntyre, one of WWE's top dogs, has won world titles, mid-card belts, and even a Royal Rumble. After weeks away, the Scottish psychopath roared back on SmackDown, crashing a segment between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton with some harsh words for both. Orton didn't take it lying down, dropping McIntyre with an RKO. Drew's return to TV is huge, and his in-ring comeback is locked in. He'll face Orton at Saturday night's main event next weekend. Having such a massive star back in action is nothing but good news for WWE. WWE is using Evolution 2 to flood the market and create chaos for AEW. WWE's hype for the upcoming Evolution event has left fans confused, and it might be on purpose. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Garrett Gonzalez and Dave Meltzer didn't mince words, slamming WWE's odd promotion of Evolution and hinting it's a sneaky move to mess with rivals like AEW. Gonzalez started by pointing out how WWE's marketing makes Evolution feel like a side note compared to Saturday night's main event, happening the same weekend. The Evolution show just seems to be so poorly promoted, and I'm sure some of it is because they're promoting multiple events the same weekend. But I can't imagine. Saturday night's main event is the big event for the weekend, not the pay-per-view. I can't imagine why you're promoting the show the way they're doing and expecting it to be like this success. Meltzer agreed and brought up WWE's old trick of scheduling events to crowd out competitors. Why would you do a pay-per-view the same weekend you're doing a Saturday night's main event? Other than, we know why. When Gonzalez said, "Yeah," Meltzer went further, laying out the real motive. "We know they're trying to flood the market, cause chaos." Meltzer also shared that WWE first planned Evolution for July 5th at Mohegan Sun, but later shifted it, a move he thinks shows their chaotic strategy. And it's funny because that show, to show what I mean by that show was booked for July the 5th. That show was booked for, Saturday night, this weekend, tomorrow. I think maybe they looked at it and went, well, that's not really a great night for a PLE. And it's not, but the fact that that was their original night, they did book the Mohegan Sun for that show months ago. And then they moved it. So that just tells you, that's just the reality of everything as well. Meltzer was clear. This isn't about selling more tickets. It's about jamming up the schedule to make it tough for other promotions to run their own shows. Moving Evolution to next week might look like a simple change, but with WWE, nothing's that innocent. It's a classic tactic to disrupt the competition. Will this hurt Evolution or help it? Hard to say, but one thing's certain. The timing's no accident. Do you think WWE's using Evolution to throw a wrench in AEW's plans, or is this just how they roll? Drop your thoughts in the comments. WWE Women fear the blame game if Evolution 2 fails. The Evolution 2 Premium Live event is set for July 13th, 2025, with a stacked card ready to go. But with a jam-packed weekend, many women in WWE feel like the show's being set up to crash and burn. On Lucha Libre Online, Hugo Savinovich shared that a lot of the female wrestlers are frustrated with how WWE, and especially Triple H, is handling the event. They feel the company hasn't given it the hype or storytelling it deserves. Despite Stephanie McMahon and Triple H saying they back women's wrestling, the women feel overlooked and unsupported. Now let's talk about something serious. The event Evolution 2, happening next week. It's the second all-women's card in WWE's history. Many of the wrestlers, if not all, are upset with WWE, and especially Triple H. They feel they were placed in an event that's not receiving proper support. Yet people like Stephanie McMahon and Triple H supposedly believe it's important for the market and acknowledge that women do draw revenue and have headlined major shows like WrestleMania. The issue with Evolution 2 is that many of the wrestlers feel neglected. The big problem? Evolution 2 is stuck in a crowded weekend, going head-to-head with a Beyoncé concert across the street, AEW's All In Texas, and WWE's own Saturday night's main event. It feels like WWE tossed Evolution 2 into the mix without enough planning or focus. The women worry that if ticket sales tank, they'll take the fall for it, even though they haven't been given what they need to shine. And if the event fails, it feels like things are being held back, then they fear they'll be blamed. In other words, it's your fault. You didn't draw. And here's the thing. The event competes directly with a Beyoncé concert happening right across from where Evolution 2 is scheduled. And it's also going up against AEW's All In, their huge card. To make things worse, WWE also scheduled a Saturday night's main event that weekend. So it feels like Evolution 2 was just dumped into a crowded weekend without the proper spotlight or planning. Imagine this. Beyoncé, the queen of music, married to Jay-Z, an icon, like royalty. And now, these women wrestlers feel like they were thrown under the bus. In Puerto Rico, we'd say they threw them into the fire. It's like if someone throws a punch at you, and you push your brother in front so he gets hit instead. That's how the women feel, put in the line of fire for something that wasn't their fight to begin with. If the show fails financially, the narrative will be, see, we never should have done a second Evolution. You can't draw. So there's a feeling that this was done on purpose, to make sure nobody can say WWE isn't giving women a chance, while still setting them up for failure. Other events that weekend, like Saturday night's main event with Goldberg's final match, are getting big names and heavy promotion. Evolution 2, though, only has one major match announced, making the card feel thin. The women feel other shows are being propped up while theirs is left hanging. Hugo stressed this isn't just speculation, it's how many of the wrestlers truly feel, with most of them upset about being put in such a tough spot. The wrestlers believe the love, attention, and strategy weren't put into this event. WWE is stacking the weekend with other big attractions, like Goldberg's last match, and strong cards for Saturday night's main event. But for Evolution 2, there's only one really big match, and that's where the frustration lies. Other cards are protected, but Evolution 2 has been left out in the cold. Again, this isn't Hugo or Lucha Libre Online making things up. This is how many of the wrestlers themselves feel. I won't say all of them, but if I said most, I wouldn't be exaggerating. The women of WWE are crossing their fingers that Evolution 2 won't take the blame if ticket sales flop. With so many challenges already in their way, it'll be a tough road when the show hits next week. A huge update on Nikki Bella's status after her feud with Liv Morgan got cancelled. Nikki Bella was headed for a big showdown with Liv Morgan at Evolution 2025, but a major update has changed everything. With Morgan sidelined by an injury, the WWE Hall of Famer's role at the all-women's Premium Live event has come into focus. WWE had been building toward a women's tag team title match, where a reunited Bella twins would take on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Those plans are off, and now Rodriguez teams up with Roxanne Perez to face Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, plus a Raw and NXT tag team, at Evolution, but Nikki Bella might still have a spot on the card. According to Wrestling Observer newsletter, the former Divas champion is expected to compete at the all-women's event, even though her opponent remains a mystery. Originally, Nikki was set to make a run-in after Morgan's match with Sky on Raw, but Morgan's injury scrapped that idea. While her status is still up in the air until WWE confirms it, Nikki used her platform to shine a light on another star. On the Nikki and Brie show, she gave a heartfelt shout-out to Natalya, pushing for her to get a spot on the Evolution card. Could we get some Natalya on Evolution, please? I think Natalya is doing some of the best work of her career, and I would love to see Natalya be a part of Evolution, host LaGreca noted. Nikki added that Natalya, unlike many others, never stepped away from WWE. No retirement, no breaks, no time off for pregnancy. She's been a steady presence for over 15 years and is currently killing it outside WWE, enjoying a career resurgence. Nikki hopes that momentum carries over to a big moment at Evolution. Will Natalya join Nikki on the card? And who will Nikki face? The answers are coming soon. There's still a power struggle between Triple H and The Rock. Since Vince McMahon stepped back from WWE, Triple H has been calling the shots as Chief Content Officer, steering the company's creative direction since September 2022. Whispers are swirling that another WWE icon, The Undertaker, might join the creative team. On the latest Brodown episode on Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge, inside sources weighed in, saying there's no chance of a power struggle between Triple H and The Undertaker. They believe the dead man would just toss out ideas, not fight for control. But the real tension lies elsewhere, between Triple H and The Rock, who's a big player on TKO's board of directors. Yeah, I don't see a power struggle at all because Taker's there to just kind of throw ideas. You know, Triple H is, the head of it, and Triple H is pretty much running it. I think Triple H would be stupid not to take good ideas from Taker, but I don't think it's a power struggle type of thing. I think there's definitely a power struggle going on with Triple H and Rock without a shadow of a doubt, but I don't think you'd see that here, inside sources said. Nothing's official yet about The Undertaker joining WWE's creative crew, but the rumors are picking up steam. The Phenom himself addressed the buzz, saying he'd be open to the role as long as he could stay in Texas and keep working. Will this power struggle between Triple H and The Rock shake things up behind the scenes, or will The Undertaker's ideas find a place in WWE's plans? Stay tuned to see how it unfolds. WWE politics exposed. Inside sources dropped a bombshell about behind-the-scenes politics involving Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn, who are caught in a heated rivalry. At Night of Champions, Zayn pulled off a stunning victory over Kross in an intense one-on-one match in Saudi Arabia. The win shocked everyone, especially since Kross was dominating early on. On this week's Brodown with host Mac Davis, inside sources claimed Sami Zayn is getting a big push because of his ties backstage. They argued that Kross, despite being a former NXT champion, isn't favored by the higher-ups, leading to his lackluster booking. Sources said any regular fan would see Kross as the bigger star, but WWE's not giving him the spotlight he deserves. That is the politics of professional wrestling. Sami Zayn is in favor and Karrion Kross is not. It's that simple, bro. 100% of 100 people would say Karrion Kross is the star. Their roles are flipped because Zayn's in favor and Kross is not. It's that simple. This past week on Raw, Kross struck back, ambushing Zayn backstage and injuring his ribs. The attack left Zayn hurting, unable to compete at full strength in a tag team match later that night. Is this feud about to explode, or will backstage politics keep Kross down? The drama's just getting started. WWE's intentions behind CM Punk's apology in Saudi Arabia revealed. CM Punk's apology at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia for his old blood money tweet wasn't a spur-of-the-moment thing. It was all part of a bigger plan. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer spilled the tea, saying WWE, TKO, and Saudi officials agreed Punk needed to make the apology. Even though some fans called it fake or hypocritical, those in the know saw it as a smart move to polish up Punk's image. I did talk to some people in WWE about the whole thing, and it's like, the deal. Again, it was, it obviously was not this impromptu thing where all of a sudden somebody out of nowhere asked him a question and then he just thinks to react and apologize and all that. I mean, it was like he was going there to apologize. Meltzer said only Punk knows how sincere he was, but everyone backstage was on the same page. This was about business. What he thinks he's the only one who can say. And probably, the impression that they had, that I was given, is that everyone, Saudi Arabia, TKO, CM Punk, they're all on board, and this is just what we gotta do. You could argue that maybe they shouldn't have done it. Maybe it makes him look bad by doing it. They thought it makes him look good. They thought that was the right thing to do. If he had any qualms, nobody knows, you know. Meltzer explained this is just how things work in wrestling today, especially with big government partnerships. I mean, the way it was said to me is that everybody just thought this was the right thing to do and they did it. And you know, kind of the thing of when you're dealing with governments in this day and age, it was kind of like, you know, everyone's bad. You know what I mean? It's just the nature of the business. WWE wanted to show Punk has changed, moving past his old image as a wild card. That's the message they want, that he has grown up and he's not a hothead anymore. And his message was, well, he was just, you know, mad at The Miz over something and he didn't really mean it about Saudi Arabia. Jim Ross weighed in too, saying people are overthinking the whole controversy. To WWE, it was a calculated step to paint Punk as more mature, and they didn't care much about what fans thought of it. Another WWE superstar lands major acting role. Hot on the heels of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns landing roles in the Street Fighter movie, another WWE star is headed to the big screen. NXT's Jordynne Grace, alongside British actors Bill Nighy and Matthew Horn, has nabbed a part in an upcoming film. While she's gunning for the NXT Women's Championship next week, Grace shared some exciting news with her fans on X. According to Variety, she's making her acting debut in the indie film Welcome to Paradise, a fantasy flick written and directed by British pro wrestler Richard Summers Calvert. The movie's in post-production, and Grace will play the character Lisa, per IMDb. Variety described the plot like this. The story follows Lisa, who awakens on a mysterious beach with no memory. After meeting a creature who tells her she's arrived at the carnival, she discovers a vibrant venue populated by humans and magical beasts. There she meets Harvey, another lost soul, as they attempt to uncover the truth about their pasts and find redemption, though everything comes with a price. Last September, Grace teased she was filming a movie, posting a photo with Summers Calvert. She's got a packed schedule at the upcoming Evolution PLE on July 13th, challenging Jacy Jayne for the NXT Women's Championship. Plus, on July 12th at NXT's The Great American Bash, she'll team with Blake Monroe against Fatal Influence's Jane and Fallon Henley in a tag match. Grace is hoping for double celebrations with a title win and her Hollywood debut. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, bitter rivals in WWE, have headlined back-to-back WrestleManias for the undisputed WWE Championship. Rhodes ended Reigns' epic 1,316-day reign at WrestleMania 40, though they teamed up at Bad Blood 2024 against Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Another clash seems destined. Now, both are set to share the screen in Street Fighter, with Reigns as a villain and Rhodes as a hero. A viral clip from their Bad Blood cinematic segment, where Reigns told Rhodes, "You're in my way in life," has fans stirring up talk of real-life tension. But there's no actual bad blood between them. On Shaq Wrestling ahead of the 2025 Royal Rumble, Reigns shut down the rumors, praising Rhodes as a great champion. Last year, Rhodes admitted to making negative comments about Reigns during his AEW days, but said they never hashed it out, keeping things neutral. Reigns has been off WWE TV since the Raw after WrestleMania 41, and fans are pumped for his return, likely at SummerSlam. When he's back, the 40-year-old star will probably go after Seth Rollins and his heel crew for putting him on the shelf. What's next for Reigns and Rhodes in WWE and on the big screen? It's going to be a wild ride.